Welcome in once again, guys. We're here to feed that Yu-Gi-Oh cardboard addiction, guys. You guys already know we have SP Little Knight, quarter century secret rare, already getting destroyed, getting demolished. Again, a lot of people out there had the high-end version, had the quarter century secret rare, and now they're scrambling. They're selling, they're panic selling. Oh my God, it was 350, 400. You know, it was this, it was that, and now it continues crashing down. This card. Look at that. The chart says 350 still. Hasn't even updated. We're at 240s, guys. A couple of one-ups, and it does start going up to 290s and 300s, so the card is still scarce. 29 listings. The thing is, it's still scarce, but there's not a lot of liquidity. I mean, the chart hasn't even updated, guys, with the current price. That's how fast this card is falling down. So again, I mean, this is still, there's no way, no how. I mean, I guess there's just different Yu-Gi-Oh players, collectors out there. There's no way I'm gonna look at this card and I'm gonna be like, you know what, man, we're getting a Starlight, whatever the price is. I mean, it's gonna be way cheaper than this, right? I mean, who knows, based on pull rates. I mean, what do we expect? 15, 20 bucks, 25s, maybe, whatever it is. There's no way I'm gonna be here like, you know what, man, I need that stamp, man. I'm gonna pay 10x. Let's say the Starlight is 25s. Yeah, I'm gonna pay 10x, man, and I need that quarter century secret rare stamp. I'm coming in, Jay. I'm coming in, boys. No way, no how. Like, Starlight goes good 10x down, for example, then these current prices, it looks just as good. I don't put no stamp on it. I don't need none of that. Just give me the Starlight at a 10x discount. You know, I mean, that's the vantage point that I'd be seeing, because I expect these cards to continue crashing down, to continue getting destroyed. Now, I can't act here like pull rates don't matter. Pull rates matter. And there's like, what, like 400 cards in there? So again, it's going to be hard to pull even the Starlights, the Prismatics, all these cards. It's hard to pull the one you want. We understand. But at the same time, regardless of pull rates, there's going to be more of. There's going to be more Little Knights out there now. You know, there's going to be now the Starlight rares are going to be out there. You know, they didn't exist. Now they do. So again, that sell pressure we expect to continue coming in for this card across the board. So again, if you have this card, I'd be selling it, you know, and picking up the new one. I mean, just something to consider. Now, the Starlight rare is a higher rarity than most of these other rarities, you know, so that's a fact. And based on pull rates and scarcity is going to matter, you know, but still, regardless, you already see, you know, the secret rares dumping, the ultra rares are already single digits. So especially the lower end, I mean, these super rares, we already talked about this. They're unique, you know, but if you have ultras, you know, maybe some secrets, I'd be unloading these and trying to focus my attention on the Starlight. So I'm looking forward to that Starlight rare reprint, you know, hopefully is cheap. You know, what's cheap? Who knows? 10 bucks? No. You know, we'll see, man. But again, it is important to know. It's not like we're getting another ultra in the tin. So I'm gonna just have my PUR, and then I'm gonna try and pick up the Starlight, and then just reassess. I get it. I don't expect these to like flash crash, you know, oh my God, the prismatic secrets are now $5, nothing like that, because we're getting a higher end reprint, right? But I still think sell pressure comes in. This is a staple though, so keep it in mind. Staples usually have high demand. A lot of people are going to want that Starlight rare, so we'll see. I can't wait. I mean, usually by this time we should have had you know, like 10 pre-sales just to give us an idea. I mean, because the tins come out in a couple days, and if I'm not mistaken, right, like the end of this upcoming week. So yeah, man, it's unfortunate that we don't have pre-sales listed as of yet, even though we don't base ourselves off pre-sale prices to like come in and buy, just to give us an idea. Okay, you know, okay, the card is going to be around X, Y, and Z price. But overall, I expect the Starlight to be high in demand. It's a card that, you know, a lot of people are going to want. But these mid-max rarities, they should age well. But in the very short term, I expect some sell pressure as the Starlight, people start cracking it open and having those on hand. We have Infinite Impermanence, same deal. I mean, this card is the staple of staples, man, as we're always covering on the channel. But again, it's getting a Starlight rare now. It already has the lower rarities like supers and commons, rarity treatment, things of that sorts. But again, the quarter century secret rare, let me see, I had it open here. No, okay, that's my bad. Let me just open it up here. Then the quarter century secret rare is getting destroyed, just destroyed, and price continues making new lows, now heading towards the mid 50s. And again, I think this card goes sub 50 bones. It does, because now you're gonna get a cheap, again, the new prints most likely coming inside the tins as Starlights. This is gonna be cheaper than, you know, this most likely. I don't think we're gonna have like what, $50 Starlight in the tins? I don't think so, because last year, based on like most of the Starlights were on the cheaper end, you know, because they came in the tins. So hey, I expect this quarter century secret rare to not just go to 50s, but probably even 40s, guys. Even though it's scarce, even though it came in the Rarity Collection Uno, now you have a matching high rarity to go alongside this print. You know, and for me, like the Starlight, I don't care about price. Usually price is correlated with max rarity or high rarity, but the technical max rarity for this card, I mean, should be the Starlight. But again, it's blurry right now. Like we're talking, you know, when the Appaloosas came out, with the Masqueradenas came out, like Starlight was the max rarity in Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, but now it's like cheap Starlights. You know, for me, like just looking at it, and I want to make a dedicated video about this, like ghost rares need to be the max rarity in Yu-Gi-Oh, because, you know, there's rarely any cheap ones. Maybe that Nat Beast from like a gold ghost rare, $5-10, but other than that, they're all like money in some way, shape, or form. They're all scarce, but that's a conversation for another day. Infinite Impermanence, I expect it to go down to 40 bones. I would have been selling this card once the Starlight rare got announced. Hopefully you're not caught holding this bag, because it's rough. It's rough. Look at that. The card recently was $100, you know, in July. That's just 2 months ago. The card was triple digits. You wake up one day, boom, down almost 50%, crashing down into oblivion, man. These new reprints just straight up kill these prices, destroy these prices, guys, as you can see. And then you do have the OTs here. The OTs are actually holding strong. To me, this is a higher rarity than the quarter century secret rares based on price. And as we can see, these were 120s crashing down to 90s right here. The sell pressure is coming in overall. This is a lot of listings for an ultimate rare like this from OTS Pack 17. There's a lot of listings, so I'm surprised it's still holding the 90s and not crashing below that pivot. If it does, if you see this card at under 90s, run for them hills. Card is going to go to 80s, probably 75s. Just something to keep in mind. Then here we have, what else? We have Dominus Purge. Right here. I'm sorry, Dominus Impulse, QCSR. This card, excuse me, guys, used to be 263 bones very, very recently. And now the chart hasn't been able to keep up. 188s. Now for this one, again, it's not getting the Starlight treatment in the tins like the Little Knights and like, you know, the card that we just discussed. Again, this one actually, you know, the Imperms is not. This is getting just a prismatic secret. So with those terrible pull rates, this will still be the max rarity, but it has been crashing down. One, because it's fallen out of favor in the current TCG meta. And we're talking about the masses using this. Not that the card can't see play in a random, you know, rogue deck or in a random meta deck, you know, some decks here, some decks there, but you know, the top tier decks, you know, are playing purges, are playing other cards. So, you know, it's falling out of the meta in that sense. $261 down to 188s. And you know, so hopefully I'd be looking at this card, I'm like, yo, hopefully it goes down to 150s. That'd be like my personal goal. My personal target for the card, revisiting this pivot low right here. You know, we're not that far away. You do see a couple of 2-ofs and play sets here and there. So, but it quickly does reclaim the $200 mark at the bottom of the page. So at least it's retraced, what is that? 62, like $70 from the high, $75. Not bad. Overall, I would continue to monitor the high end, because after people realize that the prismatics are harder to get than what they think, you know, the high end should retain value in the long term until eventually it gets a Starlight rare reprint, probably 2 months from now when Rarity Collection 5 comes out. 2 to 3 months from now. That's my takes. You know, I'm speculating. 2 to 3 months from now, I think we're getting Rarity Collection 5. You do have the secret rares here. It says 34, still holding the lows, man. That's crazy. Crazy. Just the demand coming in for this card still, man. But eventually this volume dies down. That's the thing. Men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. You can see here, you know, look at that. What is price doing? Is consolidating, right? Before what? The eventual dump. Why? Look at this volume right here. Let's draw a line, an actual line right here. Look at that, guys. Look at that. Look at that. Just beautiful, beautiful downtrending line right here in the sense of volume, just downtrending. What does that mean? That the volume is trying to keep up, but it gets to a point where it gets low enough, the supply is coming in too fast, and then the price action goes into that next leg down status, you know, towards into the 20s, into the teens, potentially into the teens. So keep it in mind. Pull rates are going to be terrible. It's going to still be hard to get this card, you know, overall, but the reprint is coming, and especially in the first couple of days, so maybe a week or two tops, I expect the sell pressure to push this card into the 20s, maybe as low as to the teens. We'll continue to monitor this one. Then we have Dominus Purge. Again, we've already been talking about the Purge here on the channel, and there's always a lot of comments like, yes, but the demand is too great. Yes, but people need this card. Yes, but the pull rates are terrible. And yes, and yes, and yes. And we understand that. We're not going to sit here and not pay attention to pull rates, you know, because it affects scarcity. Their end, it affects price. We understand that. But again, my point is always that I want to get across to you guys that the card has been going down from the highs. Look at that. It's worth $0. It's free 99 right now. Nah, look, so again, every time we've come to visit this card's price is at a lower price since it was at 65, 70 bucks. You know, of course, I'm not saying that this $50 card is going to be 15s. That's not the point. But could it be 40s? Yes. Could it go down to 35, 30s? Yes. You know, right now it's $150 for a playset. Can the sell pressure of the prismatic push this price down to $100 for a playset? Sure. Sure, it can. It can, especially very, very initially. Just because we say we expect lower prices, we're not saying for an extended period of time. Not with the purges, not with the Purulias, guys. Not with the purges and not with the, I'm sorry, this is for Wallows Purulia right there. Not with the purges and not with the Purulias. I believe these two cards will be the chase cards from the tins. Yeah, the Little Knights are willy-nilly. They're, you know, really nice. Starlights, a lot of people are going to want it. It's a staple. There's already a rarity collection treatment for the card. You have Imperm already a rarity collection treatment for the card. The Purulias and the purges don't have the rarity collection treatment yet. Even for Wallowses have the rarity collection treatment. So again, keeping this in mind, I believe Purulias and purges are going to be the chase cards of the tins, meaning that these can react different than most of the other cards. Why? Because they're going to have extreme demand. The supply is going to be low. Okay, those are facts, but also another fact is that supply is coming in though. New supply will be coming into the markets, and I expect an initial dump, especially, you know, from day 1, day 2, the first week, and maybe a couple of days into the next week. I expect an initial dump, but then again, of course, you get that initial rush phase where people are like, you know what, man, the card is here. I just need to get my hands on it, man. I need it right now. I'm playing yummies. Finally, I get a higher end, you know, a mid-max prismatic secret and Purulias, man, they were 80s, and now we get it. That initial rush is gonna come, but before that, I expect you know, the card to get that initial crash, just coming out, people cracking in the tins. Even I'm getting a case, of course. Pull rates are terrible. I don't expect to pull this card, hopefully, right? But the whole point is, I actually need Purulia for myself. But the whole point is, again, guys, that's the thought process behind it. You know, when people in the comments, they just focus on one thing. The demand is too great. You know, don't sell your purges. It's going to still retain value. We're not saying that in the mid to long term. Yeah, they're probably right. But we're talking about the initial moment of the product release. It comes out. People need it. Yes, we understand. But the supply is coming in. You know, those first couple of days, we expect, you know, the card to crash down in price. You know, and again, this, it's 50s, 30s. That'd be my personal goal. $100 a playset. We'll see if it gets there. If it gets there, no one knows. We're speculating here, but that's my personal thought process heading into this set. You do have the max rarity here at 150s at all-time highs, and it's not even blinking. It's not even blinking because we're getting a lower end rarity compared to this one. This is going to be 175s. Don't be surprised if the high end is 200s because this ain't receiving no sell pressure. You know, people are like, I still want the quarter centuries. Still the max rarity. Now, if it would have had a Starlight print, that's something else, but it's not. It's getting a prismatic secret. I expect the sell pressure to mainly affect the secret rare in the very, very short term. I'm not saying that this card is going to be readily available at cheap prices for a long time. That is not what we're saying here. We're saying here that first, we expect lower prices on release, first couple of days, a week to 2 max. And then the 2-week time frame, that's stretching it. You know, weekend, I already expect the initial rush to be coming in just because the demand is too great. Pull rates are terrible. So we will reassess when the card actually comes out. And again, we have Purulia. Same deal, man. Same deal for Purulia. The higher ends, you know, the quarter centuries and you know, the CRs, you can see the CR is still 90 bucks. You know, sure, maximum maybe retrace down to 80, 75s, maybe. But again, this is the higher end. This is still just as scarce. These are very hard to find. And you have the quarter century secret rare, same deal. This one was 260s, excuse me. So it has felt sell pressure. You look, we can already see that Purulia, even though the pull rates are going to be terrible for the prismatics and the demand is going to be insane, the high end has crashed from 260 bones to 185s, 186s. What does that mean? Yes, there's demand even for the higher end, but not to the point where some people, they decided to just sell this and get the new prismatic secret. If I would have had these, I would have held until like a Rarity Collection 5 is announced. Then, you know, once we know essentially that it's going to get a Starlight Rare counterpart, then I would sell these. But in the meantime, the high end should be safe. This should go back up to 200 and plus in no time. But again, the lower end, look at that. You can see right here, card was 78s, then recently it was 70s, and now the card is 44s. So again, this is the crash we're talking about, and I don't believe this is done. And mind you, this is with us knowing that the card is still in high demand. Everyone needs plates of the Purulias, including myself, and that has not stopped the card from already flash crashing. Down what? That's 70 to 4. That's down 30 bones a pop, man. Man, down $30. Tell me, what do you think is going to happen when people those first couple of days that people actually have the prismatics on hand? It creates sell pressure. It does. It does. So I would continue to monitor this card. You know, this is what we expect from most cards that we will be talking about today. Just that flash crash. You know, reprints, they kill value. They destroy value. It is what it is. And right now, you know, of course, after a couple, it does go back up to 50 bones. But again, we expect the sell pressure to continue coming in as people move on either to the newer version, or they just pull the newer version. They already had these and they want the newer version. Keep it. They come in, slap this one on the market as a lower rarity. So definitely one that we will continue to monitor. But these are going to be the chase cards, man. Purges and Purulia above anything else. Above anything else. And you do have the Fualoses of the world. Same deal. Look at that. You have the QCSR up here. Card is what? It says that the card was $400, crashing down to 360s. We wish. The card is 325s, but it's holding strong. You know, right now the card is what? A band for a playset? Shit, man, I wish I might. Right here, band for a playset, essentially. So, you know, this one's retracing like more gradually. It was 360s down to 320s. So it's down almost 40 bones. So it's definitely a considerable move towards the downside. Me, I would look at this card at 325s. I mean, I guess ideally 300s would be like, you know, that at least that goal that hopefully the prismatic secret rare can cause some type of sell pressure. But overall, all of these cards are already crashing down in price. Look at that. These were 25s. These were 20s. The Ultras were 20s or 25s. Okay, they were 20s. But yeah, crashing down 5 bones. And again, you know, $10 would be like the sweet deal if it would get down there. We'll see if the sell pressure comes in for these lower rarities. But yeah, these cards are going to be high in demand, man. You know, we said Purges and Purulia are the chase cards of the tins. Of course, there's other cards, you know, that are going to be high in demand, like Little Knights, Imprimps, and Fualoses, because they're staples for that matter. But, you know, when we say chase is like the top end, the top tier, like the cards that most people want, you know, regardless of what deck they're playing or maybe as an investment. So we'll keep those in mind. But yeah, man, the Fualoses right here, 15s, you know, flash crashing down right here. So yeah, we can see that these prices are getting destroyed thanks to those reprint announcements. But you do see, again, you do see the higher ends. We saw that the PCRs got a $5 dump. The PURs came back down to earth. Platinum secret rares are stabilizing at 25s, and the secret rares are back down to 18s. So again, most of these copies, even the higher ends, are going down. They're bumping down in price just because, again, sell pressure. That's what sell pressure is called. If this one card was 30s, sell pressure is that it can come down to 20s. At least 25s with the potential to go down to 20s. That's sell pressure. Sell pressure is not like, oh my God, we're getting a Fualos reprint that has terrible pull rates. But you know, this $30 PCR is going to be $5 or 10. No, that's not the point. Retracements back down to the mean. Sell pressure. A bump down in price. You feel me? That's the mindset. That's the mindset. Guys, first link in the description down below. If by any chance, any of the cards that we're going to be talking about today, if you need to either purchase them or just at least fast track them with your boy, check the charts yourself. First link in the description down below. We can see already that the flash crash has started for all of these cards thanks to the tins. It happens every single year. We find ourselves in this situation talking about, look at that, look at that. It was stable, the value. Now reprints just around the corner and the price is following just around the corner, crashing into oblivion. First link in the description down below. Guys, make sure you keep this in mind. You know, we're gonna be selecting our giveaway winner. You know, I had the intent of live streaming you know, at some point you know, just this week. So we'll see if it's today, you know, later tonight, tomorrow. Just have that ring, that notification bell on, ring that bell. And make sure you subscribe to stay tuned, because whenever we do our next live stream, we will be selecting our giveaway winner. So make sure that you come in here, make sure you know, you like the tweet, retweet, follow us over here on X as we try to crack that 600 follower mark over there. So again, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe, like the video on the way in. It would gladly be appreciated. So again, we have the tins. You know, I was supposed to today make a video about the 2024 tins, but again, with the recent release of the full list of tin cards, I'm like, you know what, let's just go over the list, and maybe, you know, probably maybe tomorrow we go over the 2024 tins, or at some point this week before the actual tin release, just to review you know, some cards from last year's tins and see how they're doing, probably getting destroyed in price. But yeah, the tins are finally here, man, finally here. You know, again, last year's tins was fire. It was fire. It had amazing, terrible pull rates, but amazing reprints, amazing singles. And I think this year's tins is going, you know, in the same direction again, where the pull rates are going to be terrible, hard to pull what you want, but singles wise is going to have amazing reprints, amazing investment potential, where we can make a lot of money. You're going to hear the same noise that we heard last year. All the noise, oh, you know, pull rates are terrible, you know, the tins this, when they see Purge is still super expensive, or Purulia is expensive, or the chase card's expensive, everyone's going to start talking and saying it's terrible product and this and that and the third. Good for that. Good for them. We're going to be focusing on the singles like last year, and we're going to be making so much bread out of this tin because the game is that easy. Last year's tins had amazing value throughout, because when this comes out, we need to think ahead. We need to think 3 months, 6 months, a year out. You know, what cards from here are going to be valuable once they get hard to get. The tins are here like every year. We on the channel, we've discussed the 2023 tins, the 2024 tins, and now this is our third tin that we're covering here since we started the channel. I'm just reviewing it in depth once it comes out, so definitely keep that in mind. But again, people expected a ban list post Worlds. I really didn't, because, you know, that's sometime after. You know, that means that there should be some time literally after this year's Worlds, not right immediately then. A lot of people, there was a lot of speculation expecting a ban list, but not yet. I still think we get it, you know, relatively soon in the month of September at some point, you know, before like Doom of Dimensions towards the latter part of this month, upcoming month, because that starts tomorrow. So, you know, anywhere from mid to late September, I expect the release. You know, probably towards mid-September if I'd have to be a guessing man. That's, you know, not with the tins, because the tins have to come out this week. But from next week forward, I could expect a ban list anytime. No one knows. We're speculating. We'll see. It might happen, you know, this upcoming week. Yeah, just wanted to touch base on that. And then shout out to the champ as well. They haven't posted here. Yeah, shout out to the champ, you know, from Worlds. That's pretty epic. I think I saw him somewhere. Was it at Nats, like top at Nats or something, if I'm not mistaken? So yeah, man, crazy, you know, winning Worlds. That's pretty cool. And yeah, it was a nice experience, you know. Worlds, you know, in the past years, I really haven't paid too much attention to Worlds, honestly. Really didn't affect market watching much or things of that nature. And you know, even where it is, unless you're participating, you can't go, that type of nonsense. So it's like, yeah, bleep Worlds, you know what I mean? But this year it's pretty interesting, just following, you know, some of the master duel players and the champ and some of the duels. So pretty interesting. Look forward to 2026. You know, it's gonna be in Tokyo. That's gonna be pretty cool. And shout out to Triff, man. He said he's gonna go to Worlds, probably winning, man. Knowing that guy, yo, knowing that man, he's gonna speak it into existence, boys. But here we have the tins, the actual mega packs here, you know, what it brings, So I was like, where's the supers? Thankfully no rares, but honestly they should have taken the commons and just put supers in there. Give us 5 to 8 commons, and then leave the ultras, leave the like an all holographic tin. Like, who wants to open a tin and like see commons? Like that's just terrible. Like, the tin should be, you should get that type of feel like of the rarity collection, where you go into a rarity collection and you will see supers and ultras and secrets and PCRs and PURs and PSRs and QCSRs and, well, now starlights, excuse me, you know, eventually holographic. Everything you pull is holographic. The tins should graduate to that stage. That is terrible that it's commons. Like, just horrible. Those commons should have been supers. Literally, supers. Just give us supers, ultras, prismatic secrets, and starlights. That's it. No one wants commons. No one wants bulk, man. And if it's going to be bulk, at least let it shine. Come on, man. But that's not that big of a deal. You know, a bigger picture. We want to make sure that we cover the actual list. Again, we're not the first channel to do it. I'm just doing it now because I want to give my humble opinion, you know, on some of these reprints. And as a boomer, you know, the most important card for me is Chaos Sorcerer. Finally, thank you, man. Those supers were crazily expensive. You know, and bottomless, that's nice as a Starlight rare as well. Starlight Road, you know, Starlight in the name of the card, so that's pretty cool. And then Miracle Fusion, that's a very, very important one because the secret rare was going crazy in price. So that's a really nice one. Yeah, we have, again, I like when I see a list like this here on the channel, and we're gonna spend a couple of minutes here because it's very important. I want you guys to listen. When you have a list of prints like this, there's a lot going on. There's like 400 cards getting reprinted in here. So it's very important to pay attention. You know, when I see a list like this and I see the Monarch Stormforth, Tenacity of the Monarchs, which needed a reprint because the rares were crazy, and Domain, when you have Domain of the Monarchs, when you have 3 Monarch reprints in here, then this tells me that most likely it doesn't have to happen, but Monarchs are getting more support. They're getting more support. Regardless of the cards just needing reprints, especially Tenacity. You know, if it would have just been Tenacity, then like, oh, okay, it just needs a reprint at this point. We get it. But when there's multiple slots, then to me, that's a sign. That's a potential sign the Monarchs are getting support, and that if you've been wanting to invest into Monarchs or get the quarter century secret rare, things of that nature, even if the support is trash, people still go crazy. Just something to keep in mind. Retaliating Sea, that was pretty cool. I'm surprised. Is there a Contact Sea around here? I don't think I saw it. So, I mean, at that stage and age of point of things, they should have, you know, included Contact Sea in here. But we'll see. Red Eye / Dragon, pretty interesting. You know, I want to look at that one because more like collectible pieces. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of fillers. There's also some good reprints in here. The alternate Raigeki and Harpy's Feather Duster, that's pretty cool. DD Designator, that's pretty nice. And what else? Nightmare Apprentice, the Sarcophagus card here. Okay, Memento, and you know, Ank here with the Exodia deck pieces. Beals is pretty nice. I like Beals in here. Pretty nice. Broken Synchro card. And then you obviously have Imperm and Little Knights here. You have Bystial. Like, why would they, man? I don't understand, man. They give like literally the 3 Bystials that no one needs or wants anymore. Big picture. Sure, could you use the one Magnum at the one Druis room? Baldr, sure, but like, where's the little bellies, man? Don't get me started, man. Don't get me started. We're gonna touch base on that in a little bit. And what else do we have here? You know, a lot of fillers here, and let's see, Starlight number 90. That's a good one. Number 90 is a good one. We're gonna check that in a bit. That's a very, very good reprint right here. Yeah, Gamma Seal, finally getting Gamma Seal, the most important, the best kaiju. Getting a max rarity Starlight in here. That's pretty nice. And Pot of Greed, obviously, you know, for us boomers, is actually the card I should have started off with today, because you guys know GOAT is my favorite. I'm a GOAT boomer, okay? And getting fine, you know, what I expect to be a cheaper, higher max rarity version of Pot of Greed, hopefully is not too expensive. So yeah, not bad. Great start. Other great reprints and cards in here. But again, these are the Starlight rares, guys, as you can see. Yeah, other than that, so these are the Starlights. This is it. You know, so yeah. Then we have the prismatic secrets. You know, the Black Gold Labs, Iron Thunder's nice. No one cares about Voice's Voice anymore, or these Snake Eye cards are, you know, Tenpai, kind of late. No one plays it anymore. It's already hit on the ban list, but it's a nice little reprint. We'll touch base on that. Varudras is pretty nice. Nightmare Throne getting the rarity bump. But then again, that's what I'm talking about. Like, what is Metatronus doing in here? You feel me? Like that could have been Fenrir. Fenrir already has a prismatic secret, but you guys know what I mean. You know, one of the Fantastic Four, there's another prismatic secret reprint, just something else, man. Why? We got the Fiendsmith package, the rabbit, so that's pretty nice. What else? Dragonling, okay, Memento. Yeah, so just more core set reprints in here. Not bad at all. And yeah, it's gonna be interesting. You know, you obviously have Purge, you have Purulia. It's gonna be interesting with the Fiendsmith stuff, just in case it gets hit on the list or not. Very, very, very interesting. Then we have more prismatic secrets with Fawalos right there. Obviously, Lode, that's pretty nice. Drill Beam also getting a prismatic secret. So you know, I have a bunch of secrets, but I'll just get the prismatic secrets too, because it's a card that down the line, you never know if it gets more support, and it can age well as well. Then you have Dark Hole. Dark Hole has a prismatic secret. Beautiful, great boomer reprint right there. Love it, love to see it. Great selection by Konami with Dark Hole. Impulse here, obviously you have Ryzo stuff. No one really cares about that anymore. Malice, yeah, okay, it's kind of late, you know. And Draco Sack again already got a rarity treatment. Why is this card Big Eye? Why is Big Eye ready? Had, like, you know, these slots could have been. I'm not even gonna go down that road, boys. Spell Canceller, pretty neat. Lingeribo, pretty nice. Danger Nessie already had a regular secret. Like, why is Bigfoot? Man. Now this Chaos Ruler, this guy, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. I will not lie. I think I forgot to pull it up here, but it'd be nice to check it out. Because why are these ban cards here? You know, like, we're getting a Burst Protocol, getting a Rocket support, and Rockets, Dragonlings, they used to play this card. So coming back to one, definitely a possibility. Denko Sekka, yeah, I mean, okay. What else do we have here? This card, Blaze, Supreme Ruler of, damn, that I didn't expect a prismatic secret in here, but here we are. And we have Diagram. I bet no one's talking about Diagram. We already got True Draco support announced. We already got new True Draco reprints in Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem. And now Diagram is getting a prismatic secret in the tins. Like, you can't make this stuff up, man. You just can't. These signs are too obvious. That is it fine. You know, it's gonna come back to 2 to 3. Finally, your boy's gonna be able to play True Dracos, man. Let the king come back to reclaim his throne. Okay, that's all I'm asking. And I love it. I love to see this reprint here. Love it. We predicted the reprints in the True Draco reprints. I'm sorry. We predicted that once the True Draco cards got reprinted in Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem, man, I can't talk, that we would get new support for True Dracos, and we did. Now we're predicting that based on this card being in here, Diagram is coming to 2 to 3. Better be the 3. Let us play, Konami, because we get nuked by Draw anyways. Again, to 2 to 3, meaning that this is a great reprint to pick up once it comes out. That's all I'm gonna say. Great reprint to pick up. To speculate, who knows? Maybe it stays at 1. Maybe. But same as Paleozoic cards. What is Paleozoic, whatever this is, and the Alpabina, whatever? Like, what are these cards doing in here? Why would Konami reprint this card in this year's tints? Why not in last year's tints? Or the one before that? Paleozoics have been around for like 10 years, it feels like, at this point. Why reprinted it in this precise tints? Why? I think Paleozoics are getting support. We're speculating here, no one knows. But reprints like these, they're not willy-nilly, in my humble opinion. They're gonna pass by people. People are gonna be pulling these prismatics. Trash, you know, Paleozoic, I don't care. Me, I'm gonna be picking those up. Just in case. It doesn't have to get a support, but that's my speculation. There has to be a fundamental reason of why these cards are here. They can't just be, oh, they're just getting random No. Like, no one plays Paleozoics. You can't. Ronan Tonin, I think, is banned, if I'm not mistaken. And even when he was around, the little froggy, that didn't do anything. So I think might be getting support. Just something to keep in mind. Keep an eye out for these. If you're cracking tins open, if you're at locals, if you're a vendor, you know, and people take you these, you pick these cards up just in case. If it doesn't get new support, just keep them for the long term. If it does, you're gonna be eating good. The game is truly that easy. And then we do have ultras here. You know, some more memento cards, goblin biker cards, Yugioh cards, kind of late at this point. Mekanko reprints that thing. You know, the plant Ragnarika. Okay, that's neat. Some Tenpai Dragon cards. No one's playing Tenpai anymore. These are just late, man. These are late for the most part. Excuse me, Future Silence. That's pretty cool. You know, most of these ultras are late. You know, so we'll revisit these once they come out. The Dragon of Extinction here, I think this is a nice ultra to keep in mind. Ragnarika for plants maybe goes up in the future, but we'll definitely cover those once we cover those tin prices. And we have more ultras here. You know, yeah, I mean, just looking through this, like, yeah, you know, sure, White Forest stuff. Yeah. You guys see anything here? Maybe I'm skipping something. I don't really see much in the ultra section. So ultras, there's not really too much life in the ultras, man. There'll be maybe 2 to 5 cards, 2 to 3, maybe 5 cards that are going to be worth like really honing in. But other than that, prismatic secret rare singles and starlights are going to be the play. Let's see. Okay, Gallon Granite, that's pretty nice. Dawn Dragster is pretty nice. Okay. Metamorphosis as an ultra might age well, you know, in the very, very long term. Hey, Saranir right there. Okay, I see you. You know, but big picture, not too many ultras, nothing too crazy. I mean, here, a lot of fillers. Maybe the Fire King one, maybe Destruction Swords, the Buster Blader card. You know, so there's a couple, maybe bumping up to 10. Wow, Triage Master, we just talked about the secret. Who knew it would get reprinted in here? But again, this might be the signs. The signs, what is this card doing in here? So again, I still think the quarter century secret rare is a great play because these little signs right here, they're just, hey, they're subtle, but they're there. And it's our job to pay attention to it, as you guys can see. Then you have comments, literally. I was going through the comments, I'm like, one word, fillers, because I want fish lamp. I need fish lamp, man. I'm sorry, man. Just need fish lamp. That's the card that I want from the tins. Fish lamp, okay? Just keep it in mind, man. No come up to me and give me this damn card as a comment, because I'll just rip it right in front of you. Because who wants these fish? White sardines? White sunfish? You can't make this stuff up. Like, what are these cards doing in here, man? Mystic Potato? Man, shh. I need to move on, man. I just got to. Dandy White Lion? Gimmick puppets? Who needs gimmick puppets anymore? Man, I don't even need, I need to move on, guys. I already spent too much time here. But where's the most important one? Most important card, I think I missed it. Where is it, guys? The most important reprint. Wait, I saw here in the ultras now. I forgot about Phoenix Enforcer. Actually might be good. Access Little Talk. Why is that in here? But Phoenix Enforcer, that's a good one. Aqua Angel, yeah. Psycho Reed, okay. Mystic of the Gnomes had a comment. This is the max rarity. Junk Synchron, you know, with the new support coming out for Synchros, maybe structure deck. So, I mean, there's a couple willy-nilly bets right here. But where is that card that I'm looking for? Rescue Hedgehog, definitely the play of the set. Where is it, man? Where is it? I know there was this card that I need. There it is, guys. Master of Ham, the best reprint in 2025 tins in the tins is Master of Ham max rarity. Like, these fillers just get more and more insane every single year. Literally, look at that. Had to make a post on X. At least we got in the max rarity version of this card in this year's tins. This is the best reprint of 2025. You can't make this stuff up with these fillers. They just got crazier and crazier by the years. Hopefully you guys are having fun with that. Let's get to it. Master of Ham, price-wise, because it matters. This Phantom Nightmare single print until the max rarity ultra comes out is a whopping pennies. 4 pennies right here, guys. This is it. You need to sell this card right now. It is getting an ultra rare max rarity. I'm gonna leave it at that. You can't make this stuff up, man. We had Dragonic Diagram, like we said, only 4 prints ever. I'd be picking up the prismatics or the first set OGs. That's about it. All the other versions, not necessary. We're getting a new reprint. So just keep it in mind. Right now, 4 bones for the first set OGs. I'm not selling mine. I have these. I don't care if the prismatic secrets come. I'm going to keep the personal playset of this. And then I'll just pick up the prismatics as investments or just extra copies in case I ever want to play those. But that's about it. Then we have Paleozoics. Again, like we told you guys earlier, you know, getting reprints of these in there, honestly, I think at that point they should have included like Morellas, Candidas, Canadias, you know, and these supers in here that Deinonymiscus, they have holographics, but some of these are like expensive. Like these are 3, 4s pushing 5s. For Morellas, Leoncolias are like 3s, Canadias are like 3s. So, you know, playsets are like 10s and beyond for most of these, even Olenoides, like dollar commons. So, you know, it's like harder to get. Honestly, I would just come in here and pick your choosing. Pick your choosing. We can see Morellas here. Literally, look at that. $4. And then it goes to 5, 6s, and it goes crazy, guys. So these super rares that you see willy-nilly here, they're becoming money. Why? Because again, people speculating. What are these Paleozoic extra deck monsters doing in there? You have Canadias here. You have 19 here, but with shipping, after that goes to $5 immediately. Don't sleep on these super rares, guys. You want to keep them in mind. Paleozoic Leoncolia right here. You got, you know, playsets for 2s. Beautiful, beautiful. You come in here and let this card creep up to 350s, then 4, then 5s. You come in early. You get what you need just in case. What I did, I came in and picked up a core for like $35. Came in, picked up a core. Sure, I think if reprints, support is announced, it probably comes maybe around or after a Rarity Collection 5 comes out. So again, but these cards might get hyped, you know, on an announcement before Rarity Collection 5 comes out. So at the very least, I'm in a position of strength. What does that mean? I have my own core in case I want to play Paleozoic, because I loved Paleozoics back in the day. Loved them. You know, just loved. I used to go to locals and destroy people with this deck. Love this. So if this deck gets support and it's any type of good, I love trap decks. Like my favorite type of decks in Yu-Gi-Oh are trap decks. You feel me? It is what it is. So I'm gonna be super stoked. This does not have to happen, boys. I'm not saying that Paleozoics need to get support or will. I'm speculating that they might, based on the fact that we're getting the extra deck monsters reprinted into tins. So you want to get exposure to these cards. Deinonymiscus, these super rare from OTS supers look clean, guys. So again, see them as shekels, but you know, they're hard to get. So again, it quickly goes up to 70, 80 cents, then $1. It does have the ultra rare as well. Right here from Duel Overload, which is cheap as well. So again, these cards are all shekels that you can come in here and pick this card up. Great time to get exposure before any potential support gets announced in the next couple of weeks or a month or two. Whenever it gets announced, you just never know. You just never know. So you want to make sure that you pick up, look, all these OTS supers from OTS Tournament Pack 6 ages ago, super hard to get these cards. Make sure you jump. Again, Paleozoic, Hallucigenia, man, I'm bad with names, and then Eldonia as well right there. You want to keep these Paleo cards in mind. They're shekels today. They can be Billy's tomorrow. If support gets announced for Paleos, these cards would go insane. Everyone forgot about these. No one's paying attention to these. That is why I'm highlighting these today for you guys. I'd be purchasing these, at least a deck core for yourself if you want to play, or to move if the support gets announced. If it doesn't, then not a bad deck core to hold regardless. And we have Primite Lordly Lode. Again, we have a quarter century secret rare, then 2 secrets, now getting a prismatic secret. So overall, the card is going to still be high end in the sense that it's going to still be hard to get. Pull rates are going to be terrible, and there's going to be a secret rare and above. You're not going to have like ultras and supers and like easy to get versions or more easy to get versions. So, you know, right now the card is hovering at 19 to 20 bones. People are waiting on pull rates just to see how hard or not is going to get to is going to be to get these cards. So we always talk about the Battles of Legend Monster Mayhem version. So today we're going to touch base on the current max rarity for loads. A month and some change ago, it was 120s, flash crashing down, it says, to 95s. We're really at $74, $75, guys. And we'll see the sell pressure, how low it brings the high rarity, the max rarity down to maybe into the 60s. Definitely possible. You know, so we'll see. But the quarter century is stabilizing around $70, $75. You know, we'll see if the sell pressure of the prismatic brings it down to lower prices. And then you have the first set OGs just flash crashing down to the 20s right here. That's where we're at, sitting here. I still think with the prismatic, we see 15s at the very least. 10s would be like ideal. Like me, that's what I want to get. Be it the new ones, just I want to pay like 25 bucks for a playset. You know what I mean? But we'll see if we ever get down there for the loads, because it's a card that is going to have eternal demand. People always want this card. Even me. I'm not playing Primite Blues, and I still just want to have exposure to the card. So it's nice that it's getting this prismatic secret rare reprint. I just think if it gets a Rarity Collection 5 announcement, you know, if Rarity Collection 5 gets announced, I think this card would have a Starlight and other rarities in there. So just something. I mean, there's a gap zone in between, but just something to keep in mind. And here we have Dark Hole. Again, Dark Hole is a card that, yes, it has like supers and ultras and secrets, but it always feels like it needs just another new holographic print. Starting with the quarter century secret rare, we can see that this Battles of Legend Monsters Revenge card, if we clean this up janitor style, on the 6-month chart, let me see, actually on the yearly, yeah, the 6-month chart, yeah, shows it at $98, $100. This card used to be 100 bones, and now it's been, you know, curving into consolidation at 80s, it says here. Yeah, this is where we're at, 78, 80 bucks. And honestly, getting a prismatic secret is going to have terrible pull rates, so you know, the high end should still remain high end until eventually it gets a Starlight Rare and Rarity Collection 5. Excuse me, probably in the Boomer section, it gets a Starlight and a Platinum Secret Rare. But right now, it should retain value. Maybe hit 75s. I don't see it going like below 70s. We'll see. You never know. But the high end should remain as the high end. But don't forget, you also have a Turbo Pack Ultra, still around 15 bucks. Super scarce, super hard to get, as Turbo Pack cards always are. And then you do have the secrets. As well, as we did see right here, and you do have the Battles of Legend Monsters Revenge regular secret. Then the OG secrets are pretty cheap. No one's using, you know, Dark Hole right now, so yeah, it's pretty cheap. Look, Shackle's getting destroyed in price for the OG secrets. Now we're gonna have beautiful prismatic secret rare. Dark Hole is a card that should look gorgeous in prismatic secret rarity. I can't wait, because you know your boy is a boomer. We have Raigeki alternate art, and we have Arpy's Feather Duster alternate art. Again, Raigeki here recently hit 12 bucks as a high, and right now you see volume coming in, yeah, this card is single digits now. Sell pressure is coming in. I can't blame people. This card might go down to 5 bucks, because now we're getting an actual reprint, you know, in the 10s. I think it was in the Starlight Rare section, if I'm not mistaken. See, I think so, right? It was in the Starlight Rare section. Yeah, right there. So these are going to be Starlight, guys. So a lot of people are going to want the rarity bump. You know, wouldn't be surprised if this card goes to 750s. Down to that price in the short term, maybe even become a $5 card. And then you have Arpy's Feather Duster alternate art. You know, the card was 9 pushing 10s recently, like a month and a half ago, and then the card has flash crashed to $7. Now it's 650s. So I expect in the short term for this card to be sub $5, with the potential to eventually go down to 2 to 3s once that Starlight Rare gets reprinted. Then we have Millennium Ankh, quarter century secret rare, getting destroyed 3 months ago. It was $45, $50, and then these reprints just killing these card prices down into the teens, you know, and crazy. Quarter century secret rare, what is it going to be? 15s, maybe 10s? Wild, guys. And then you do have the secret rares right here at $4 to $5. Volume is coming in. Poor Billy Bobs, they don't know any better. They're about to get destroyed. This card is going to be probably 2 to 3 bones, so we'll see how it pans out. But yeah, cards like these core set cards from Info and getting destroyed, guys. We have Starlight Road, quarter century secret rare. Not feeling it. You know, again, this card is getting a Starlight Rare, and the QCSR is like, okay. You know, the card was 750s, went up to 1820s, and that's where it's at. About, with volume, about to, you know, go into price discovery mode, all-time high status. And yeah, I mean, the card is still just as scarce, just as hard to get from Bonanza, 11 listings, so no sell pressure for the higher end here. So we'll see how much the Starlight Rare, you know, it'll be worth once it gets reprinted. Then we have Gamma Seal here. Again, this card only has what, 6 prints ever. Crazy. You have a super rare, an ultra, and then 2 secrets. The rest are rares. And yeah, this has always been a card like just hard to get. So honestly, it's not going to change much. We're getting a max rarity version. I would just pick those up, focus on the max rarity, especially depending on price. And these shouldn't feel too much sell pressure, because all of these are already hard to get. But yeah, great time to pick up a Gamma Seal once the Starlight Rare reprint comes out, just across the board for such a great card. We do have the secret rare here. Was 4 pushing 5s, right now at 3s. Yeah, I expect 2 to 3s to stabilize there once the Starlight Rare comes out. Then we have Nightmare Apprentice. Again, we have the quarter century secret rare and the secret rare core set secrets right here. Again, we can see the QCSR this card on the yearly, you can see it used to be in excess of triple digits, and now it says 87s. We wish. This card is a 50 piece, man. 44 listings, just getting destroyed. This value is just, wow, just vanishing, literally. Look at that. And at this rate, we can expect 40s for this card, you know, quarter century secret rare, because again, these cards are getting starlight rare, so max rarity or high rarity, high end counterparts when it comes to that. So yeah, man, hopefully you guys sold early. And then you have the secret rares, used to be 28s. We were literally telling people to sell, literally, when it was up here, that it could get a reprint. And then after that, it was announced. And now the card is at 750s and still too expensive. We expect 5 for these, 5s at least. So yeah, don't be down another 25%. I'd be moving these and just picking up the new Starlight rare. Then we have number 90, Galaxy Eyes Photon Lord, a card that recently was 27s pushing 30s. Flash crashing down to 750s around there, under 8s. Quickly goes back up to 10 bones. So this card has eternal demand. I would be picking up those starlights like hotcakes, especially depending on price. So this is going to be a great card to be able to reinvest into at lower prices thanks to the reprint. Because once that reprint dries up, I think they'll all become money. Definitely one of the pickups from the tins that we're going to be keeping our eye out for. Guys, link in the description down below. Come over here, join our Discord X, shop accessories right here. And you get $15 off, guys. $15 off over here at your convenience. Make sure to not miss out, and make sure to subscribe. Ring that bell, like the video on the way in. We're gladly appreciate it as we continue to grow. It's all thanks to you guys, and none of this content is official financial advice. It's for entertainment purposes only. Now, this Vader didn't get a reprint. That's pretty interesting. You know, I expected a reprint in this year's tins. Probably the ultra rare slot would have been perfect. Ah, man. Look, Serenir had a prismatic secret and it has an ultra now. That's perfect. Just do it for all of these. Why limit yourselves? Like, give us the Dissipator, but most importantly, the Loot Bellies, man. Loot Bellies, man. Look at that. They reprinted Baldrake and Serenir and Magnum and Jerusalem. Might as well finish with Loot Belly. Part of the Fantastic Four right here. And then Dissipator. Why not? I just can't, man. I just can't. If I'm being honest, I just can't, man. I just can't. When is this card getting reprinted now? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this card does it again, goes back up to 15s, but eventually becomes maybe even a $20 card. Why? Because it didn't get reprint in the tins, man. Again, no Fantastic Four. Damn, man. So unfortunate, man. Now we gotta wait in 2 to 3 months for a Rarity Collection 5 potential. Crazy. We have Bystial Dissipator, same deal. Look at this volume coming in. Single digits. If you need your one of, no better time than to buy into these walls of China. Because again, they didn't get reprinted, man. We have Art of the Blue Eyes. This card is 50 bones. Was 70, 75s. And now it's 40, actually. 40. So we expect this card to go into the 30s. Maybe $100 a playset. I mean, I would just be staying away from this card, honestly. I think as a collector's card, this might age well as a first at OG quarter century secret rare. But right now in the short term, we expect pressure. I don't understand why this card is still $7.50. I don't get it. This card has no business being above $5, in my humble opinion. There is a bear flag formation forming here on this card's price right now that no one's paying attention to on the charts. Men lie, women lie, the charts don't lie. I think in yesterday's market watch, we talked about a bull flag formation. So again, a bear flag formation is the same thing, just in the opposite form. This is the pull right here of the flag. Then you draw the flag right here. This is the flag. Boom. You connect the dots right there. And then usually what happens is that once we break, we measure the pull. Again, we can say this is $10. It was like 11s, but we'll say 10s. It went down from 10s to, you know, 650s. We'll keep it at 7. So a $3 move. Once this break, we expect a $3 move towards the downside right here from the $7 mark down 350s all the way down. So again, 750s down to $4. Again, that's the play right here. Bear flag formation. Would not be surprised to see this card at 350s, 4s, at least $5 in the short to midterm. Thanks to this bear flag formation, these people buying here, they don't know what's coming. Reprint is coming. So definitely keep it in mind. I'd be a seller of this card. That's just me. We have Chaos Sorcerer. I'm super stoked, super excited as a boomer because this card needed that reprint. That Starlight, now a true high-end and max rarity version. Yeah, there's people out there, no, the max rarity is this random ultra that came out 20 years ago, and you know, it's a turbo pack and the nostalgia. Nah, Starlight. No way, no how. Me, I'd be 300. Man, I wish I might. Be like, yo, Billy, hold on. Find me an Eddie Edison. Be like, or Billy Goat. Bro, let me get them 300 off you, bro. I mean, let me see that. Let me see that and just buy a couple hundred worth of Starlights and just sit on it. Or, you know what I mean? You mean what I know? Yeah, I'd buy like, I'd put 250 in my pocket, take 50 bones, slap it into the Starlight. Easy peasy. No way, no how I'd be holding on to this ultra. And again, the super rare, you know, it's still scarce. Right here, if you clean this up, there's LPs. Let's clean this up. Janny Tour style right here. For the super, there's only one. Like, what is going on? I mean, I guess people see it in the sense that that the Starlight rare is going to be hard to get. It's going to be high end. It's going to be max rarity. So I mean, the card for the holographics is not going to make the you know, these more readily available per se. So yeah, just wanted to give you guys an update. I own this card in my gold deck, in my Edison deck. You know what I mean? So it looks clean. I get it. We'll see the Starlight based on price, about rarity bump or not. I'm happy with my holographic already, but the card needed at least a Starlight. It still needs, it needs to come in Rarity Collection 5, you know. But the thing is, it already just got a Starlight, so maybe put it in there just without the star. I don't even know what Konami has plans, you know, to do with this card. We have Pot of Greed, guys. Pot of Greed finally, you know, getting a Starlight rare. We can see that the quarter century secret rare is getting destroyed in price compared to previous prices right here. As we can see on the yearly, this card was 156s, and actually it's not getting destroyed, guys. You can see, I mean, there's one here 145s, but yeah, it's actually pretty quickly goes to 200 and then to 250. So the card is scarce. 13 listings. It comes behind the pot collection, is unique in that sense. So I mean, we'll see if the Starlight can, once people have it in their hands, create some types of sell pressure. But you know, this is the one I got, and honestly, I need to see what the Starlight is going to be, because I won't lie, I love owning and playing this card in this version, but $45? Man, 13 listings. I get it, man. I'm a GOAT boomer, but like if Starlights are cheap, which I doubt, you know, I might, you know, downgrade price-wise, upgrade rarity-wise, but I love this card. This card looks lovely, man. It looks clean. Pot of Greed from the pot collection, like the ultra rare. It is a beautiful card. So it's hard for me to move, but yeah, I picked it up at 20 bucks. Boys already up 2.5x, but it's all gonna be dependent on the price of the Starlight. Because what I'd do is that I'd pick up a Starlight, try and get a Euro one, and just sit on that, especially if it's cheaper. But we'll definitely be on the lookout for Pot of Greed. And then you have the ultimate rares. Ultimate rares, still hard to get, still scarce. These higher ends are not really feeling it. That a Starlight rare is coming, you know, not creating too much sell pressure on the higher end. So there you go. You do have secret rare. Like, this card hasn't reacted to the reprint. You know, Pot of Greed is one of those iconic cards that is like, oh, okay, we have the Starlight. Everyone that has a Pot of Greed, they'll just want to pick up the Starlight alongside all the other versions that they have. So there you go. We have Iron Thunder. Again, this card right here, you do see the quarter century secret rare. If you go to the yearly here, used to be 42s, still 35s. It's too expensive, man. Too expensive. I'd be selling these and just picking up the reprint, in my humble opinion. But again, there's going to be people that this is still the max rarity. They're not going to want the prismatic secrets. That's kind of understandable. But you do have the secret rares. This massive volume candle, what is going on? At 639s, no, you don't buy this card now in a falling knife mode. These Billy Bobs, they're going at it. 52 listings. I need 3 of these for my Scrubby Morganite deck, because we always play Scrub Terror, you know, Scrub Manites, you know what I mean? You know, that's so I need the reprint, but I ain't paying no nothing for this, man. We need that reprint to be 2 to 3 bones, $10 a playset. We gonna be eating good, boys. We had 10 Dragon Pydra. This card getting destroyed. Who's buying this card? Just wait for the Prismatic Secret Rare reprint. No need to buy this card. It's already at sub $5. I think this card is going to be 2 to 3s max. Even that sounds like too much. This card is about to get destroyed in price. We have the Black Gold Laughs at 110s. Again, the high end, I don't see it getting too destroyed because it's a Prismatic Secret reprint, right? So yeah, maybe crack down into the double digits for a moment. 95, 90s, definitely possible. But the Secret Rare being 30 still? Okay, we're starting to see the panic selling here. Maybe a couple listings here and there. And it makes sense, you know, right here. Let's see. Ah, man, still, I mean, 25s, I guess, 2250 right there. But yeah, this card is still too expensive, man. The reprint is around the corner, and I get it. It's going to be a prismatic secret, terrible pull rates. The mana is too great, but I still think we go down to 20s, closer to 20s like this in the short to mid term. Then we have FA Dawn Draxer, great reprint because the rares were like $3, $4, $5. And then you did have the super rare max rarity that came out 6 years ago. This card finally needed a reprint. It was $6, but now it's crashing down, down 50% essentially, 50%, thanks to the reprint. So yeah, look forward to this reprint, much needed, man. Then we have Bottomless Trap Hold. Again, it does have a couple holographics. Starlight rares coming out. You know, it's not gonna make these cards to get easier like the ultras and the secrets, but secrets were pushing 15 to 20s now. They're crashing down with the Wall of China of 7 right here at 12s. Just people realizing that we're getting a Starlight Rare max rarity version, technical max rarity. I know people prefer the Champion Tour Pack, whatever. That's nonsense. You know, talk to me about the higher rarity, the bling, you know, the shininess, man. We have Miracle Fusion. We just talked about this card. It does have the OTs and the OG Supers and the Ultras and the this and the that and the third. So nice to finally get a true max rarity version or higher rarity version of this card. It does have the OG OTs, but look, these secrets are ridiculous. I mean, on the yearly, this card used to be like single digits at one point, and it just went parabolic. Look at that, parabolic here. Says 18s, but we're at 22s. After a couple ones and 12s, it's 25s and then gone. 6 listings only. This card is non-existent because it looks beautiful, and people usually, when they need this card, they need play sets, so it makes sense. Beautiful card. Hopefully the Starlight Rare causes some sell pressure to this secret, but it's just scarce and hard to get. We'll see. Hopefully the Starlight Rare is not as expensive. We have Nightmare Throne. This card is still, says 8, still $10. Like, what is going on here, bro? I can't. Like, who's even playing Yugioh still? Like, who's even buying this card? Still, like, this is getting up. I'm gonna move on, man. We have Varudras again. We have the quarter century secret rare. This card is 56s. And if you go to the yearly, this card was, I mean, over a year ago, it was like higher in price. And now, you know, it's still holding strong. The high end, because the same deal for most of these high end cards we're getting that are getting prismatic secret reprints. Or is it a Starlight? I forgot, man. Let me see. Where is it? Is it a Starlight? Where's the post? Varudras, I think it's getting the platinum secret. So in that case, secret rare is getting destroyed. Wow, down to 574. This card was $15. Reprint announced, down 3x overnight. Crazy. You know, 2 to 3s for this one. I'm gonna be picking up the new reprint. And the high end still retaining some type of value right there. LZs right here, $8, still too expensive. I expect this card to be $5, if that. Again, reprint coming. This card had its heyday. Now it's got reprinted, and the value got destroyed alongside with it. Then you have the Rabbit, Scylla Hat Rabbit, that damn rabbit. As you can see here, only 3 prints, getting that 4th print as a prismatic secret. So yeah, I mean, the quarter century has been flash crashing from 60s down to 35s. That's a 45% dump. Why? Because no one's playing the rabbits. Just the facts. Still think this is great long term, you know, to have access to the rabbit, but the card just keeps making new lows as the reprint comes in. The secret rare still holding what, $6? It's too expensive. 2 to 3s is going to be down another 50% right here once that reprint comes out. And then the OTs at $6, $7. Wild, man. Yo, if I see this card at $5, I'm picking up my copy for my Odeon deck or a couple, because yeah, that's crazy, man. Just crazy to see this card that once was $35 is now under 7s. Wild. Insanity. But yeah, reprint is coming. Hopefully it continues to cause sell pressure to this card to even, you know, and these rarities to even lower prices. Then we have Lacrima, the Crimson Tears. We have Fiendsmith's Requiem and Fiendsmith's Track. These 3 cards right here. Again, the Fiendsmith package getting reprints. There's still this value. This is crazy. Lacrima 17s, Requiem still 13s. Should be single digits already. Track $20. Single digits, man. That's what we need. Keep in mind, balance is coming around the corner. You never know if these cards get slapped on there. Just never know. You just never, ever know. Then we have Red Eye Slash Dragon, a card that most people didn't care about ever. You know, but it's crazy. Only 2 prints ever. The Ultras are still 1750s. Why? Because it's scarce. It's a collector's card from Legendary Duelist. And then you have the reprint from Legendary Duelist Season 1. You know, the card was 1750s as well, and this one flash crashing here with a couple deals, I guess, compared to previous prices. After a couple one-ups, the card goes straight back up to 18 bones. So what am I gonna do? If you're an hour in on this beautiful Sunday, happy Sunday, if you're an hour in and you're listening to this, most times than not, the real money made in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is in random cards like these. Random cards that no one's going to be paying attention to is getting its third ever reprint. What are we going to do here? The people that are here an hour in, and me, I'm going to be getting this card. One man's trash is another man's treasure. A lot of people, when they crack open the tins, Red Eye Slash Dragon, what is this doing here? Fiddler, Bolt, not you pick it up. You trade for this. Because I believe once that it's behind the tin paywall, once that version gets hard to get, they'll all be money worth again. We've seen it happen time and time again with a million cards in the past. Free money. Game is too easy. This reprint in the tins is going to be free money. Free 99. And lastly, we have Buster Whelp of the Destruction Swordsman. I always knew this card was going to get reprinted. About time. Card was 8, pushing double digits. Now it's flash crashing to 5, 6s. And yeah, I expect 2 to 3s for these. You know, but that's about it. Breakers of Shadow Super finally needed that additional reprint for this single print for like ever, man. Crazy, for like 10 years. Wild. It needed its reprint and it's finally getting it in this year's tins. So I'd be selling this first at OG. Yo, if you made it over an hour in, man, you guys are straight MVPs, man. Honestly, I didn't think this video was gonna last an hour. Just mind-boggling, but here we go. Just providing that value. Just things to keep in mind as we head into the tins. We're gonna be covering early next week. You know, probably tomorrow, the 2024 tins, just to provide that forecast of last year's tins heading into this year's tins release and just see what's popping off with those cards, man. Hey, you made it out this far into the video. You guys are straight MVPs. Make sure you subscribe, ring that bell, like the video on the way out. Make sure you share this in one place in a group chat with some friends. It really does go a long way, guys. And I really appreciate each and every single one of you guys. Guys, thank you so much for your time, for your support, for your attention. Stay fresh.